Well, hello again. I'm back on YouTube for another, probably slightly longer video today. This is a video response from my mate Andy. He has a couple of channels on YouTube, Andy B 2379 and Geohawks. And he sent me a challenge, basically because I've been collecting a little bit of kit, so he wanted me to do a quick rundown of what I bought. Myself and Andy are very interested in getting out, especially this year, to out into the woods, do a bit of bushcraft, possibly a little bit of wild camping as well, depending on whether we can manage that. The problem where we are in Surrey is that there's very little land around where we can actually do that. So if anybody's got any hints or tips in the sort of eastern Surrey area, we'll be glad to hear of it. So also going into Sussex as well. So we'll be glad to hear of anybody who's done any wild camping locally to us. Okay then, so the video response for Andy, what he asked was for me to do just a quick review of what I've collected so far. So I'm in the very early stages of putting some sort of kit together, and I'll just do a quick run through of what I've got, and at the end I'll talk about what I need to collect for later on. So first up, geocaching wise, it's obviously been very wet recently, and the last time I was down in Swanage, there's an outdoor shop called Jurassic Coast, and I picked up a couple of items, cheap items there. First one is the sealskins cap, which is the sort of winter one because it's got the flap at the top. You look like a right dork wearing it, but well, I look like a dork anyway, but that's by the by. Adding a hat to that's not going to make any difference to me. So anyway, it's the sealskins hat, lovely and waterproof. I've used it in a variety of conditions, and it's brilliant. Lovely and warm. It's got a great lining inside, sort of a fleece lining. But ultimately, it was bought to keep my, unfortunately, my dome nice and dry in the rain. Also, the other thing is when you're wearing it under for instance, a down jacket and it's raining, put the hood up, and obviously you still got peak ups outside, so it does protect your eyes from the sort of driving rain. So that's been great. That was picked up in the sale at Jurassic Coast. I think it was about 15 quid, so that was an absolute bargain. The next thing I picked up, again for geocaching, is the low alpine space case. So this is a sort of a bum bag. In America you'd call it a fanny pack, but fanny in the UK has got a different meaning. So I'm going to call it a bum bag. It's their largest one in their belt pack range, and I bought it purely for geocaching. The reason being is I used to wear like a messenger bag, and particularly when you're out in the sticks hunting for caches, sometimes you've got to crawl under holly bushes, blackthorn, all that type of thing, and the messenger bag kept running down off my shoulders and getting snagged on bits and pieces, and that, especially when you're sort of crawling around. So I wanted something that was sort of kept out of the way. So this is obviously going to go on my back, and I've worn again this a couple of times now, and it does the job greatly. It's got a nice big thick wide strap, and it's well padded on the back, so it doesn't slip around. It's got absolutely loads of pockets and bits and pieces in there, so I'll give a quick rundown of what I've got. So the first small packet on the belt loop, I keep things like loads of spare pens. With geocaching, you need loads and loads of pens. The other thing I often pop in there is spare batteries for the GPS. So that's one of the side pockets. There's another one on the other side, and what we've got in there, I've got my multi-tool. Again, useful for digging around in bits and pieces. One thing I haven't got in, which I normally carry, is a small torch. There's a big pocket on the front which is clippable. This one's open, but it does have mesh sides so that if you get water in it, it just runs straight out. Also, you've got large pockets for drinks on both sides of the pack, and then finally inside you've got the large zippered main pocket, and haven't got anything in there at the moment, but it's absolutely enormous. Got a bit of things like lunch and bits and pieces I'll put in there when I'm going out on on a hunt. That was £28, but I think money well spent. I really like this. Like I say, purely for geocaching. I mean, in terms of a day sack, it's probably a little bit small for going out doing bushcrafting and that type of thing. So I would wear some sort of other pack for that. Like I say, purely for geocaching, when you're in and around, going through bushes and that type of thing. You don't want to get snagged up on things. Anyway, that's great. Again, that was from Jurassic Coast in Swanage. So a great shout out to that shop. If you're passing the Swanage Studland area, it's well worth popping in. They always have lots of bargains outside. Oh, there's other bits and pieces. I suppose if you're cycling, you've got loops for hanging lights and that type of thing. So that's great. Right, so next on to the bushcrafting type of thing, which is where Andy and I want to try and get out this year. First thing I bought was a knife. Decided not to go for a very expensive one, so I bought the ubiquitous Mora. So it's the Mora Companion, and it's the heavy duty one. Only £15, and well, it's really, really sharp. It looks like it's going to do the job, and I can't wait to get out there and use it. Like I said, it's the heavy duty one, so it's quite a thick blade. There's a bit of weight to it, so when you're doing battoning, hopefully, because this isn't a full tang knife, hopefully it will stand up to a few knocks and bits and pieces like that. So lovely little thing. I'm sure I don't have to do a review on Moras. There's reviews all over YouTube. So that's the first part of my kit. Next is the cooking kit, and again, if we're going out to do forgot with the Mora, again, the DC3 whetstone for going out. It's just to sharpen it if it gets dull. So I bought that at the same time. Both all together with packaging, with postage and everything. That was about 30 quid for the stone and the knife. I mean, you just can't go wrong, especially for me as a beginner, because I'm likely to knacker it. So I didn't want to buy anything too expensive. So then cook kit. Again, the ubiquitous titanium cook kit from Outkit. So I bought the large 900ml pot. If I'm doing larger meals for myself, it's great for doing sort of boiling bag type of things, and also cooking up water for your teas and that type of thing. Very, very lightweight. Again, there's been loads of reviews on YouTube for this, so there's no point me going over old ground. So I've got the 900ml pot, and also got the 650ml pot as well. Inside the mug, so they all stack together perfectly. And then my cook kit. This is the Fancy Feast stove, actually modded by Tack Blades. Again, so if you look on the on YouTube for Tack Blades, he'll show you how he's modified the Fancy Feast stove designed by Zelf. He's put a ceramic wick inside here, which works really, really well. Again, ultra lightweight with a heavier stainless steel pot stand on it, so it's slightly more robust than the one that the one that Zelf produces. So again, that all sits in the cook kit. So that goes in the smaller mug, and that then can stack together with either the bigger or the smaller pot. Also inside, windshield for the alcohol stove. Right, so that's that. Bought a couple of sporks from the pound shop. Again, very, very cheap. Other bits and pieces I bought from the pound shop as well. I've got a sit mat. This is just a windscreen cover, but it's got foil on one side and insulation on the other, so I can sort of double it up, treble it up as a seat for the wet ground, or it's actually large enough to probably go about half under my body anyway, to act as a reflector stroke insulator when I'm sleeping. Anyway, that's all the bits and pieces of kit I've collected so far. Obviously, I'm going to need to get some form of tent. So really not quite sure whether to go for a lightweight backpacking tent or something a bit more robust like the Lavu type of shelters. So again, if you've got any hints or tips for me, that would be great. probably when Andy and I get out to do this type of thing, it'd be more likely just sort of short hikes into the wood. So something like the sort of poncho shelter wouldn't be too bad. But I'm also looking for a lightweight backpacking tent as well. So still thinking about what I want to get in that respect. So Andy, hopefully that's showed the kit review for you, and so that's the VR done from that. A few more reviews of bits and pieces in the fullness of time once I've got more of the kit together. So really can't wait to get out into the woods. So Andy and I are going to have to set some dates to do that. So get a bit of sort of fire starting and that type of thing done. And as I say, I'll talk to you later. Goodbye for now. Well, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please share, like, or leave any comments below, and I'll get back to you. Thank you very much, and see you next time.